Hello everyone, this is Castcord, where we teach you about the technicalities of Discord and how you can get a great user experience from Discord. And today we're going to be talking about a few topics like the administrator permission and channel permission overrides, as well as two-factor authentication, adding bots, and we'll be touching a little bit on roles and slash commands as well, which are a brand new feature. Mark, can you explain how these episodes are going to be structured and stuff to the audience?
Oh, okay, I can do that. Castcord is our podcast, as Shizuku said. We start off with in the picture on the video, you'll see our talking point. We will have the one we're currently talking about with a little pink arrow next to it, next to the bulletin for it. We will also, at the end of every episode, not counting this one because this is the first episode, we wouldn't have many questions yet. At the bottom of the video, or at the end of it, I should say, we will do a Q&A session. Anyone that has any questions on certain features or anything else we've discussed during the previous episode, or any questions about Discord in general, we'll cover as a talking point.
I'm going to go ahead and run into creating a server real quick just because we will be using this a lot. I'm just going to call it Castcord stuff. This is pretty basic. A lot of you guys probably know how to do this if you've ever used Discord before. But we're just going to create the server. And first thing I do is I like to delete the voice channel. I like to add them in later, but just for now, I go ahead and delete the voice chat. And I'll go in here and we can look at stuff like, you know, emojis, roles. If you have emojis you want to import, stuff like that. You have the audit log here. But first thing we're going to do is go to moderation, and I enable medium level moderation and scan media content from all members. Mark, what do you like to turn on in here?
There's this little thing in Discord called two-factor authentication. It's a security measure that actually makes your server much more secure. As well, it's what a security measure is supposed to do, but yeah, you can hook it up to. You have to hook it up to both your account and your server, I believe.
You have to have two-factor authentication enabled on your account and able to enable it on your server, and this means that all moderators will need to enable two-factor authentication on their account before they're able to take moderator actions like changing channel settings or kicking or banning people, which is great so that in case an account gets hacked, then there won't really be much of a problem. Well, I mean, there will be a problem if the account actually gets hacked, but it makes it much less likely for the account to. Yes.
Yeah, it makes it much less annoying.
Especially if the hacker is enabling two-factor authentication on your account. Once they get access, you're kind of screwed. So, definitely this is something everyone should have enabled on their accounts. And I also think that everyone should have this enabled on their servers under moderation as well. What else do you like to do as soon as you get into here, Mark?
Well, I would add some bots.
Add some bots, okay. Personally, I would add some rules too, but yeah, let's get into bots.
Rules and bots.
Rules, yeah. So here, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you an example of some rules here, not roles. We'll get into roles in a little bit. Community, we're not gonna touch on community today. We'll touch on community later.
Yeah.
But I'm just doing this so I can show you Discord's examples of rules instead of writing my own. I'm lazy like that. I'm just gonna type hello here, hello, and then get started. And here are Discord's rules, or they're examples of rules you can put on your server. If you want to pause and take a look at these, you can. But next, let's go ahead and add some bots. I actually have a bot that I've been working on, so I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Oh, I screwed it up. Oop. adding and using bots. All right, let's get into that. One moment, guys, while we get everything prepared. Okay, so I'm here browsing as a guest, and you'll see this link up here, which is a bot invite link. Now, this is what they look like. You'll be able to find these if you just look for bots. You're going to have to actually search for bots. But if you see a bot you like, if it's public, you can actually go ahead and enable developer mode, which let me show you how to do that real quick. Okay, so here I am in settings. If you go down to appearance, at the very bottom, you'll see developer mode. So you can go ahead and turn that on. And you can head out.
You still have that little red square from your arrow.
I have a red square. Is it on the screen? Did anyone see that? Okay, I'm sorry about that. If you guys saw that. I'm not sure if that was just a production thing.
Yeah, it's been there for a bit. I just thought you'd notice it.
I did not notice it, so thank you for pointing that out. Anyways, developer mode. So once you enable developer mode, let's say you see a bot you like. Okay, so you will exit out, go to the bot you like. You'll see it over here on the members list most likely, or you'll see it in chat. You can go ahead and right click and click copy ID. This is a new option that will show up. This will give you the user's ID. Now if you guys copy this in, you will get my stuff and you can send me friend requests. This is my alt account, so I don't really care if you do that. You can go ahead and paste this ID into here, and this will invite the bot. And here's this here, permissions 8, which is administrator. Scope equals bot, which just means it's going to invite it as a bot. And then application commands, which are / commands thing, brand new feature, which I'll be touching on a bit as well later. But you just go ahead and type this in once you have the bot's ID that you want to invite. As long as it's a public bot, this will work. Now, this is a user, so I don't actually think it's going to do anything. I want to see what happens. Yeah, unknown application. Okay, so here is the bot. We went ahead and pasted in the ID of the bot we want to use. If you want to invite this bot, go ahead and copy this ID, put it in the description. I'll also put the link in the description if you don't want to do the labor part of this. Go ahead and paste it in there. Create / commands, as you can see, that is this. If we got rid of this, it would not be able to create / commands, which isn't something we want because this bot only uses / commands. We go ahead and Castcord stuff, continue. As you can see, here's administrator here now. This will automatically create a role and assign it. If you leave this checked, I'm going to uncheck this because I want to assign my own role to the bot. Okay, welcome Fubuki, say hi. Now I will have to go ahead and create a role here. And I'll just call it admin, and we'll touch a bit on the admin permission later. But I can go down to the bottom and give it admin. Boom. So now the bot has admin. And how about you go ahead and teach us about how bots work and what they do and stuff like that.
Okay, I can do that. So bots can perform many different features from modding your server. When I say modding, I mean moderating, to playing music, to YouTube videos, to, dear Lord, they can do just about anything they're programmed to do, as long as it fits within Discord's limitations. As far as adding bots goes, Shizuku covered that. Using them, you can. Why don't you do a / command real quick, Shizuku?
Okay, so these are a great new feature that I have been having a lot of fun programming with. If I just type /, ooh, that is a question mark. If I just type /, it pulls up a list of commands that are available for the bot. Now, this bot's very basic. It's in very early development, so I don't have tons of commands on here, but it lists all of the options, commands, here. And I'll go ahead and use a basic command like help. Help has no arguments, so all we have to do is just type help for it to work. It'll send the command to the bot, and it'll say read the docs here, which will give me a link to the docs. And another new feature is this, only you can see this message, which is a very cool feature, I think, and it's only available with / commands.
So, Shizuku.
Yeah.
Is there a specific, like, limitation to what bots can do? Because as far as I know, it's within Discord's limitations, but I could be wrong on that. Is there any limitation as to what bots could do?
Yes, there are a lot of limitations actually. Anything that isn't really in the Discord API is very difficult to program in. There are workarounds for a lot of stuff. There's this new feature called replies. Well, it's not that new actually, but it's somewhat new, and you can reply to messages in line like this. Currently, bots use a function called message.reply. Looks like that, and it will say at user, comma, and then it will send the message like that. It won't use this new replies feature yet, but that is coming in the next version of Discord.js. So the next version of the API will use this instead of this. And also there's a lot of things that are against Discord's policy. For example, if I want to do clear messages, Discord actually doesn't allow you to clear more than 100 messages with a bot unless they have their rate limit up. So like if you use Me6, it can clear a lot more than 100 messages because it has a higher rate limit. But yeah, there are like workarounds. Obviously, you could loop and just delete messages over and over again with the bot until it counts up to whatever you put in, but that would be probably API spam, and you probably wouldn't want to do that. I believe that would be against the terms of service.
Yep. So it's it's interesting. Okay. Good to know. There are limitations to what bots can do. Good to know.
Yes.
So, as far as bots, how they work, pretty much, as Shizuku said, there's a Discord API, which is basically the core coding for a Discord bot. It says what it can and can't do, and it links it to Discord itself, making it a Discord-compatible bot just by having that API. Is that correct?
Yeah, essentially.
Now, you can code a bot in whatever way you see fit, just as long as it's within Discord's terms of service and within the Discord API's limitations. As far as I'm aware, it works like this. You have your Discord API, which is your core, and then you have your sub APIs, which allow the bot to use different features. One of our bots that we've made uses a YouTube API and an audio API to play YouTube videos, at least the audio for them.
Right. So they are sort of like, I wouldn't really call them sub APIs, and I would call them more application dependencies, because they're kind of the APIs that are required for you to install for the application to work.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, there is a thing where we actually touched on this a little bit, membership screening. Before you complete this, every user has a pending flag in their user data, but you can't actually grab this that well. So this is one of the kind of the limitations, but there is workaround code. You can sort of create it yourself, which I can share if you guys want me to share that code with you. I'll totally do that. Just let me know. But you do have to do a workaround in order to get the bot to detect when a member completes this membership screening. So there are things you can do to get around some of Discord's limitations.
Now, I think that we've covered bots, adding and using them, and how they work pretty well. What would you say?
Yeah, I think there's not a ton to talk about. I can just give you a showcase of a couple of the commands here, like clear 10 clears messages from the server. And then, oh yeah, and also, let me just do like a server-wide slow mode. 2 seconds. Oh, okay. If you want to delete a message, you can go here to more and click delete message. But what I like to do is I hold shift and then you can just delete it right away. That is a useful tip. Saves a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we've covered bots plenty. Let's go ahead and move on to, what do you think? Well, we've already kind of, since we're in bots, we can talk about slash commands and interactions.
Yeah, we're already kind of in there, so why don't we discuss this?
Okay, so slash commands and interactions. These are the same thing. Like they just go by 2 different names. You may see them if you just type slash. You actually see them because there's ones that are built into Discord, like these ones. Spoiler, spoiler, boom, and it'll just mark it as a spoiler for you. Now this is a feature where it sends messages as you. That is a feature that we can't use yet. And this is a feature that a lot of people don't know about. Is going to be the only you can see this messages, which, in case you're wondering, is a flag of this, I believe. And that is 64. So that is what allows you can apply these flags in the interaction response, and that's what allows you to do this, in case you're wondering the technical side of that.
Yep. Now, slash commands and interactions are pretty useful features, especially if you have a bot that has access to lots of them, including, like, for example, I believe Me6 has a ton of them, and if they're not technically slash commands, he definitely has a bunch of interactions.
Well, interactions and slash commands are the same thing. So
well, yeah, but
I don't actually think
Me6 has a ton of commands. Well, yeah, but I should say, like, Me6 has a ton of commands.
Right.
If those would be converted into slash commands, I'm sure they would be much easier.
They would be much easier and much more efficient as well, because slash commands send a request directly to the bot. Normal commands listen for command, they listen for prefix, command. That's what they listen for. They listen for you to put the prefix and then the command. So they check every single message instead of just, looking at one message. The slash command sends it to the bot, so it only looks at one message. But a normal bot would have to read every single message, which, could cause some problems if there were tons of messages coming in.
Yeah,
so
which is why a lot of servers that use, less budgeted bots, a lot of servers that use less efficient bots tend to have slow mode on in a lot of their channels.
Yeah, that's a thing I do notice. I also like to keep slow mode on about 2 seconds on all my servers, which is why I created the /SW slow mode command, so it sets it for all channels. Extremely convenient.
Yep, it's convenient. Yeah, slash commands, interactions, pretty useful if you have a bot that has a lot of different commands that it has to check for. And overall, it's just really useful.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and touch on the administrator permission. First of all, let me blop into my red box.
Red square.
Yep, I hope you guys can't see that. I don't know if you guys can or can't.
Watch as they can.
So, in admin, I actually like to take all of my permissions with roles with the administrator permission. I like to go ahead and click down here, clear role permissions, to get rid of all permissions that this bot has. And then I only like to get the administrator.
Just to prevent any clashing of permissions, right?
Well, it doesn't really matter because I could go ahead and enable all these if I wanted to. I just feel like it's less organized to do that. because the administrator permission actually
literally gives you all of them.
Yeah, it gives you all of them, so it doesn't matter. Now, if you're the server owner, you by default always have the administrator permission, and you're higher than every role on the server. So let's say we have admin and we have test. Now, test hardly has any permissions. It just has the normal add everyone permissions. But admin has administrator. Admin can't edit the permissions of test since test is above admin. But if we, since we're the owner, we're like up here. We can never be reached. We can edit every permission, no matter what.
Yep.
So as you can see, we have no roles, but we still have full access to the server and all of the channels.
Yep, due to that little crown icon next to the next to you.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and actually do something real quick. If you want to get rid of that crown icon, you'll need two things. You don't need to name the role anything in particular, but you'll need the permission. Display role members separately from online members. And you'll need administrator in the same role. If you do that and you have that role, this crown will go away. I don't know how long it takes to go away, but it will go away.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're going to be talking about, we're just going to jump straight into channel permission overrides because they're pretty in tune with the, with the administrator permission, I guess you could say. So we have the admins. Let's go straight in to admins here. So the admins text channel, I want to be a channel only for admins. So in order to do that, all we have to do is click private channel and done. Now only admins can access this channel. The reason for that is that admins, people with the administrator permission, have every permission on every channel, no matter what. Even if I explicitly say that, Stasis has 0 permissions on this channel, I just get rid of all of them on this channel. It won't matter because Stasis is an administrator. So even though I literally am denied all permissions, I can still type in this channel. So you could deny add everyone all permissions and then only admins would be able to do stuff in this channel. Now I'm gonna go ahead and create a mod role. Mods. And I'm not like making these look good. I'm just saying I'm creating a mods role. I'm not making these look good. I'm just going ahead and assigning these. And let's say I make Fubuki mod. Fubuki's already an admin, so it doesn't matter, but let's make Fubuki a mod. I'm gonna go ahead and create a mods channel. And then I'll say private channel. Make sure that add everyone cannot view. And then you can either go here and add mods and click view channel, or you could just add it through here like this. So how about you go ahead and take over for a second?
Yep. Channel permission overrides are pretty simple, actually. I thought they were more complicated than this until Shizuku here explained it. Yeah. For example, the mods channel. Only people with the mods role or an administrator can access the channel, even though, even if, say, add everyone was denied the right to view the channel. If we have the add everyone role, right? If we have that set to view channel and have it set to no, as far as the view channel goes, it will not allow everyone to view the channel. However, if we set the mods role to yes, anyone with the moderator role will be able to access the channel.
That's
it's
correct.
Fairly simple.
Yeah, there is a slight difference. So it does kind of prioritize hierarchy here. But if I go ahead and deny view channel to test, Now, somebody with the test and mod role could still view this channel, because if you're explicitly allowed the permission, you can view the channel, no matter where it is. Even if all your other roles are denied, as long as one of them are allowed, you can view the channel.
Yeah. Yes, it's a little wonky, but it makes sense. All right.
And
so,
yeah, you want to go ahead and move into roles and why they're important now?
Yep. Let's go ahead.
We've kind of already been touching on that a little, but this is our last talking point, so let's just get it done with. Boom, boom. All right. Let me go ahead and show you my browser again. Let's jump into roles.
This could be potentially our longest one.
This maybe, I honestly doubt it. This is, we do, I mean, it could be. It could be. Actually,
Yeah.
You know what? Roles might take us a while, to be honest with you. You're right. I'm just going to delete some roles here. We have admin.
Yep.
I'll leave admin. And firstly, I want to touch on view server as role. So if I go in view server as role, I can see what the server looks like from the perspective of a role. You can only do this on PC. Mark, you use mobile pretty much almost always, right?
Yeah. I don't on a computer, so yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, Mark always uses mobile, so he doesn't get access to this feature, which is unfortunate. So how do you kind of work with not being able to tell how a role views a channel or a server?
Well, what I do, I know this seems a bit complicated, but let me explain. What I do is I simply use my I simply turn off I simply take all the roles besides the role I want to view the channel as, the server as, off myself. And then I just reapply the roles when I'm done with that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're sort of using like an alt account to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What I did before this feature was a thing, because I think this feature is fairly new, I sort of just guessed. I sort of just like looked at the permissions and figured it out, but that wasn't foolproof because, you know, you can't just like, sometimes you make mistakes. So,
yeah.
I mean, it worked, and if you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. But there are definitely mistakes.
Yeah.
I've had people who have left their rules channel unlocked, which sucks. But good thing their server was huge.
Ooh.
Yeah, their servers weren't huge though, so it wasn't a super big deal.
Yeah.
But as you can see, yeah, I do not have permission to send messages in this channel since I'm viewing as at everyone. But if I go and view as admin, I can do whatever.
Yep.
And I can see this admin.
All right, we've got ourselves. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. We've now covered why the admin role is important, but I think roles can also be used to just help organize a server and what people are supposed to do in it. Sometimes it can be used to help people understand your person. It just depends. Like, for example, there are a lot of servers that use a reaction role system where it'll give you a certain role with certain permissions based on your reaction to a certain post.
Mm-hmm. And so, for an example, a lot of servers like to deny all of their permissions from everyone. If you go down here and click clear role permissions, and then they go ahead and add like a
verified
member
role,
or a member or a verified. I'll just leave it as member. But then they like to go ahead and give all their permissions to this role. So, you know, view channels, create invites, change nickname, send messages, embed links, add reactions, use external emojis. Do not give this permission. This permission is enabled by default. I would turn this off. Read message history, definitely something very important. use slash commands, brand new permission, very important, give that to everyone. When connect, speak, video, use voice activity, all these are really up to you, but those are just my recommendations.
Yep.
So now,
for roles, another thing. If you want to just have if you just have a really small server, just having everyone have their normal permissions is probably fine. But I would still do like roles and stuff to make sure that your small server can actually be secure and be organized if and when it gets big.
And a lot of people like to say have like an announcement if I can spell announcement role, and I'm just using default colors, but yeah, a lot of people like to have an announcement role, and essentially people will ping this role for announcements instead of pinging at everyone, so that people sort of decide who wants announcements. And there's a lot of different things. So I'm going to go over every single permission, which is going to take me some time. Actually, let me do it. Go ahead and go. We're kind of heading back to channel permission overrides, but let's say I have a bot commands channel. So I have a commands channel. In here, what you could do if your bots are using slash commands, you could actually go into member and deny member from using slash commands, which is somewhere. The permission is somewhere. Where is it? Do you see it? Oh, there it is.
Okay, there.
Use slash commands, and then I can actually add everyone to use slash commands in this channel, which means they can only use slash commands in here versus all channels. Now, if you're a mod, I recommend giving them the use slash commands so that they can use stuff like slash clear and purge messages, stuff like that.
Yep. Overall, I'd say let's just start going over the different permissions.
Okay, so top two here. Display role members separately from online members. That is, let me just go online here. If I go ahead and give myself important, I'll appear under a tab with important, under all or above all the normal members. Now, and the order that this shows up in depends on the order of roles in your list here. Let me go into important again, and I'll make important sort of a mod role, sort of. Allow anyone to mention this role. If I enable this, people without this permission here, mention at everyone at here in all roles, will be able to mention this role. Which I don't really recommend turning this on for most roles unless you have like a staff role. Maybe, you know, people need to be able to ping your staff, right? Just
which we actually have for the actual for the actual Castcord server. Yeah, our staff role is actually able to be pinged by everyone in the event someone's getting harassed, which is very, very obviously against our rules.
Yeah, so anyone can ping our staff, which could be abused. But thing is if somebody's pinging your staff, obviously your staff are going to know. So they can just ban them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely you would want to ban these people for having a sort of setting off a false alarm or kick them or warn them or whatever you're going to do. Manage channels allows you to create, edit, or delete channels, as this says here. This also allows you to change the slow mode on channels. Well, I mean, that is part of edit, and then, you know, slow mode, change the name. announcement channels, stuff like that.
Yep.
Manage
Yep.
roles.
Which is managing roles. I would not give to the add everyone role, please, for the love of God. That will be chaos.
Don't give. Actually, that wouldn't be a problem if you gave manage roles to add everyone role. All it would let them do is see the list of roles. As you can see, so they can't edit their own role, and they can't edit anything above them. And since they're always at the bottom, they can't actually edit any roles.
Oh, okay.
So that wouldn't actually be a problem. It would allow them to see the list of members, but that's all it would really allow them to do.
Okay, that makes sense. So maybe it's fine.
It depends. If you want people to be able to see the list of members, yeah, you can give them. Yeah. But yeah, that one's really up to you.
That's an already active thing, and on both platforms for Discord, that's an already thing. That's a thing you can already do is view list of members.
Yeah, but
so what's really the point?
Yeah, but this list is just much more detailed than your actual, than what you would normally see, because you can look up people, you can sort by roles, and you can do stuff. It's much more detailed on here.
Okay, that makes sense, but I don't think mobile has that ability.
Yeah, I'm not positive, but you're the mobile guy, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Manage emojis. I also wouldn't give this to add everyone.
Yeah, please, for the love of God.
But if you do have a really small server with just you and your friends, I'd say it's fine to give to everyone.
Yeah.
View the audit log. The audit log is this thing right here. I can't show you. Great. I'll be right back. Let me go enable this. Okay, so here's the audit log. It is a log of things on your server that, whatever sort of moderation actions people take will be logged here.
Now, I'd probably re-enable your streaming mode.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, we're back online. Let me go ahead and get back into roles. Button, boom. Okay, view server insights. This will happen if you have community enabled. We're not touching on community, so we're going to skip that one. Manage webhooks. Webhooks is a little complicated. I don't think that many people actually know what webhooks are. A lot of people tend to just give this permission to add everyone because they don't know what webhooks are. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just don't. If you don't know what it is, just don't give it to people. That's my advice.
Yeah. Webhooks, aren't those little things that like bots and stuff post?
Some bots use them, definitely. But I would say, why don't I just give you an example? I'll go into general here. If you go into integrations, webhooks are right here. So a webhook is sort of like, you could create a webhook, and when you create a webhook, it'll give you a webhook link. That webhook link can be used to post messages as a webhook, and a webhook is like a user that appears as a bot, but it's not an actual user, so it just has a profile picture and a username.
Okay, so that's like what the Tupper bot and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a Tupper box, I don't know if any of you know what that is, but it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's useful for like roleplay servers and stuff if you want to talk as a character.
Right. Let me go ahead and hop into one moment actually. Here is our rules channel on the Castcord server, which you can go ahead and join if you'd like. I'll put the link in the description. But here's our rules on this server, and it is actually posted by webhook. So this webhook isn't an actual user, but it looks like a bot, as you can see. It's not a bot, it's just a message coming from nobody, just has a profile picture and a username. Which is pretty cool in my opinion. I like this feature a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Good.
Mark. Yeah, we're good. Why don't you go ahead and take over and start talking about some of the upcoming role permissions? We'll start with manage
Okay.
server.
Yeah, manage server, I believe, allows you to create, delete channels, and things like that. I would not give this to add everyone.
In fact, I wouldn't even
seriously.
I wouldn't even give this to your staff or mods. It doesn't allow you to create channels and stuff. It allows you to, if we go into overview, it allows you to edit information like the server name, the server region, which isn't showing up here. If it also allows you to change these settings, send welcome messages, the system messages channel, which
Yeah,
I believe
I'd keep
some
that
bots
for
use.
your owner. I would keep that for your owner and your very high up admins.
Yeah, if you have like some very high up admins that are like, you really trust these people so that they're not gonna like frick with your server region and stuff, because this can be pretty annoying to mess with, especially since it's your server name and server icon and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Manage nicknames.
First of all, let's talk about the this other permission on the manage server, which allows you to add bots, which is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, that's all. We can go down to these here.
Yeah. Create invite, change nicknames. Fairly easy to understand. Manage nicknames. What the fuck is the difference?
Okay, I will explain this. So manage nicknames allows you to change other users' nicknames, which
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Don't give that to add everyone.
don't give that to add everyone, because they are not local nicknames. They're nicknames for everyone on the server, and they are guild nicknames or server nicknames. But they only appear for members on the server, so they won't appear outside of the server. But this is really only to enforce a nickname rule that you might have.
Okay, that makes sense. Hold up, I need to zoom in on something. What's the next one? I can't read it.
That is kick members.
Okay, kick members, fairly self-explanatory.
And
ban members, once again, self-explanatory.
Yes, and let's talk about. Well, we can touch on bans and stuff later. Text channel permissions.
Send messages, embed links. Can't read that one. What is it?
Embed links, attach files.
Attach files. That allows you to attach like pictures and stuff to your messages.
And I'll go ahead and talk about embed links for a second. So embed links is like if you post a link to a YouTube video, you know how it sort of shows up in a little box. That's an embed.
Yeah.
So that's what an embed looks like.
Okay.
And then you'll see embeds all over the place with bots and stuff. Let me test. Clear one. This is an embed as well. So this is sort of what an embed looks like.
Yep.
You'll definitely want to give that permission to your bots.
Yep. Okay. Next up, we have add reactions. That allows you to put a little emoji underneath a post that has like maybe like a picture or something that you want to give a little reaction to. Like, for example, put that little thing there, and if somebody clicks that, they add the same emoji. And it just takes up that number a little bit.
I believe if you have the manage messages emoji, you can actually manage these reactions. So if I go into reactions and I'd be like, no, I don't want this person to react, you can do that.
Yep. Important.
And down here, use external emoji.
Use external emoji. I'm pretty sure isn't that only for Nitro?
Yes, if you have Discord Nitro, you can use emojis from other servers if you have this permission.
Okay.
I would say this is fine to give to people The only reason you wouldn't is if they're like inappropriate emojis or something.
Yeah. What's that next one say? I can't read it.
Mention at everyone at here and all roles.
That's fine as long as it's a small server. Otherwise, don't give that to at everyone. Only give that to people who are gonna post announcements.
Mm-hmm. Now, the difference between at everyone and at here, at everyone
is it'll ping people who are offline too.
Right.
At here, we'll just ping everyone who's online.
Exactly.
At the time of sending.
Exactly. And then all roles, pretty obvious. You can just mention roles, like we talked about that a bit earlier.
Yep. Is that manage messages?
That is manage messages.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm on mobile and the scaling's really wonky, so yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Manage messages. This allows you to delete messages made by other users.
And this also allows you to pin messages like this. And it also allows you to manage reactions like we were talking about earlier. I believe it does.
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure on that one. And it allows you to delete messages. Okay, next permission. We got read message history.
Read message history. If you want people to be able to scroll up in your messages, put this. This is what allows people to read messages that have been previously sent.
Yes. So they will. But yeah, just give this to everyone. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't want to give this permission to everyone. There may be a few niche scenarios where you might want to do that, but in most cases, you'll want everyone to have this permission.
Yeah. Send text-to-speech messages. That means it'll play a robot voice saying your message out when you send a message in certain channels.
Yeah. Give this permission to the least amount of people as possible. In my opinion.
It's annoying.
It's very annoying.
It is very, very annoying.
Use /commands.
Use /commands. We have already gone over this permission like a million times.
Yep. And then here we're going into the final stretch.
We're
starting off connect.
Oh yeah, connect to voice channel, speak in voice channel, enable your video, use voice activity. That means you don't have to use push to talk, which is very convenient. Priority speaker means you play louder than other users when other users are talking.
Right, if you
basically prevents people from talking over you.
Right, and there is a keybind to it, so it's sort of like push to talk. It's like push to enhance voice, basically.
Yep.
Scroll down some of the moderation section down here. Move members, deafen and move. Or mute, deafen and move.
Mute, deafen and move. Mute means you can mute people from talking. Deafen people means you can prevent them from hearing and talking. And moving them just means you can move them between voice channels.
Actually, I think you can still talk if you're deafened. You just can't hear.
Huh, that's interesting. I thought it auto-muted you as well.
It might, but you can unmute yourself if you're deafened.
Okay.
But this is somewhat useful maybe if you are paranoid and you have, a music bot and you don't want it to be spying on you. That's what I do. And I mean also if somebody is just, you don't want somebody to hear something that you're talking about, you can deafen them.
Move members allows you to move them between voice channels. And now the administrator permission. Oh God, please, I cannot stress this enough. Do not give this to anyone except people you very much so trust.
Yes. So the administrator just gives them every single permission we've talked about, and it allows them
and
to.
it's very, very scary.
Yes, it allows them to override every single channel permission, and we did touch on this a bit, so they already know this stuff.
Yeah. Just as to this is a very dangerous permission to give. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo.
And I'm going to go ahead and touch on just one thing here. So if, let's say admin is a low important, anyone with the important role, even though admin has all permissions, anyone with the important role cannot be kicked by admin since it is above. Their nickname cannot be changed by admin since it is above. And also, this role cannot be managed by admin since it is above. Also, admin can't manage its own role as well.
Yep. That's fairly simple. Alright, so, what do you say we do our little outro now?
Yeah, why not? Let's get into it.
Since we've gone over all our topics for the day.
Okay, so that's all. Thank you guys so much. We're just gonna do a quick summary of all the different talking points, and then that'll be it for today's episode.
Yep. Let's start with channel permission overrides. You block everyone from viewing a specific channel. You allow admins to view all channels. Admins can still view channels.
And next is the administrator permission.
Do not give this to people you do not trust.
Exactly. This is a very dangerous permission. And two-factor authentication.
Two-factor authentication. Security. You want this. You very much so want this.
Yeah, we can't stress that enough.
Yeah, you very much so want this.
I personally am very big into security, so definitely.
Yeah, we can't stress enough that enable 2FA. Enable 2FA.
And next is adding and using bots. So as we touched on, you can put the bot's user ID in the link. We talked about developer mode and how you can activate the link. We talked about a little bit. We didn't really get into scopes and permissions. We might talk about that in a very technical podcast. Next, /commands and interactions. Brand new feature to Discord. Amazing for bots.
Yeah, it's so much easier than just checking every message.
Yeah, and it doesn't really eliminate the need for a web dashboard, but it makes interacting with the bots so much easier that a web dashboard becomes less necessary. Roles and how they're important to the servers. And this is just organizing your server. Yeah, this is very important. You want things to be organized. You want certain people to have more permissions than others. And you want things to be organized and people to be safe on your server. So this is what you need.
Yep, roles are important. Alright, that's about everything. So, this is Mark.
Shizuku.
Signing off.